Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We got a lot of topics I want to cover in this video. We're going to be looking at the Russia crisis, the Fed emergency meeting, the BlockFi's $100 million fine, the SEC enforcement on platforms, the Bitfinex hack, and the Netflix series that's going to be based on that hack. And then we're going to be talking about a lot of positivity and adoption within the space. So quickly looking at CoinGecko here, we're currently sitting at a $1.96 trillion market cap, currently down 1.4%. And as you can see, we're seeing a lot of red in the market. We had, over the past, 2 or 3 days, we had a lot more positivity as in price action within the space. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, as you can see, we fell back into this fear range. And as you know, we've been in the fear and extreme fear range for some time. Yes, the past day or two, so we've been in the neutral range, in that 50 range, which was nice. But now we're back in this fear range, and it's due to a lot of reasons. Obviously, we have this Federal Reserve emergency meeting coming. Obviously there's been talks about, the Russian invasion on Ukraine, or allegedly, and, what the U.S. is going to do. It says Pentagon orders departure of U.S. troops into Ukraine as Russia crisis escalates. So there's a lot of uncertainty with that. And then you have this emergency meeting when it comes to, inflation. Obviously we had a recent CPI data that came out, unemployment data that came out. And the Fed was supposed to have their second round of meetings in March, but now they're throwing this emergency meeting. So it's bringing a lot of worries and concern within the space, and not just in the crypto market, but then within the regular market as well. As you can see, there's some red in the NASDAQ S&P. So that's why we're seeing a lot of more volatility and turmoil within the market. So who knows? We were supposed to be expecting some interest rate hikes conversations, or interest rate hikes being set in this March meeting, but who knows what they're going to be doing Monday. It's Monday, February 14th with this. It says it's anticipated that the closed meeting of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System at 11:30 a.m. Monday the 14th. The following items of official board business are tentatively scheduled to be considered at that meeting. Review and determination by the Board of Governors of the advance and discount rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve banks. So that's obviously contributing to us being back in this fear range and seeing some volatility and some downside within the market. So who knows what's going to come out of it? Who knows if we're going to get, interest rate hikes, after this meeting, or we're not going to hear anything to, the March meeting. But as we know, inflation did come up higher than they expected, as per our recent data. So we can expect, a sort of hawkish approach. Who knows if it's going to be, super hawkish, if they increase it by 50 basis points, or whether they do it by 25, or whatever the case is. It's a bunch of guessing and predicting. And there's really just the uncertainty. The market doesn't like it. So also you have stuff like this. BlockFi to pay $100 million penalty in SEC settlement. So just before I go into the key points behind this article here, is in our past videos, we talked a lot about how you have the Ripple versus SEC case. And there's a lot of people out there that have certain reservations against Ripple and XRP, right? But in reality, this case is so important because it sets precedent and a foundation for the entire crypto space. If the SEC wins, that just gives them more power to, operate by enforcement and regulate by enforcement, and kind of overreach and overstep within our market. Now, if Ripple wins, that kind of lessens the power the SEC has to try to over dominate this crypto space. So now with that, it's not I'm an investor in XRP, and I'm an investor in a lot of digital assets, and I highly have a lot of optimism when it comes to the entire crypto space. But it's like, for the Ripple versus SC stuff, for people who have reservations against Ripple and XRP and really don't care if they win or lose a case, you might want to bring that back in and reconsider kind of that thought process, because if the SC does win, all that means is they're just going to come after everything crypto, from platforms to other projects to other digital assets, tenfold. So here's the thing, is we talked about how SEC and Chair Gensler stated that they're going to be coming after these platforms to make sure that they are investor compliant. So if you have your favorite platform or your favorite project out there, just know that it's happening. Look, it's happening right now. BlockFi to pay $100 million penalty in SEC settlement. So we covered, before I go into the BlockFi one, we've covered this one in the past too. Coinbase drops planned Lend program after SEC warning. The SEC said it would sue Coinbase should the exchange launch Lend. So Coinbase wanted to do their own Lend product, where you can hold, USD, for instance, and earn a certain percentage allocation for lending out your digital asset. But that was shut down. And now you have BlockFi to pay 100 million penalty in the SEC settlement. So it says, in recent months, the crypto market has struggled, with Bitcoin BTC tumbling by more than 50% from its November all-time high before finding support in the last few weeks. Increased regulatory scrutiny, sentiment towards Fed monetary policy, and geopolitics have weighed in investor sentiment. Coming down here, it says BlockFi settles with SEC. So up here, you can come in here and read this, but it's talking a little bit about the SEC versus Ripple stuff, kind of like a correlation and have some sort of connection between what Chair Gensler and the SEC is doing. So it says, while the SEC case against Ripple has been ongoing since 2020, BlockFi came under the SEC microscope back in November of last year. The SEC alleged that BlockFi's high-yielding accounts are unregistered securities. Earlier in the year, the states of Alabama, Kentucky, New Jersey, and Vermont had reportedly issued showcase or cease and desist orders calling on the platform to stop offering its product to state residents. It was likely that the orders from the 5 states brought BlockFi into the sights of the SEC. So there's a lot of stuff we can cover in regards of, how wrong this is. Obviously, we have inflation going crazy. We leave our money in the bank, it's earning pennies, fractions of a penny. It's not really earning anything. So we utilize, for us that invest in the crypto market, we utilize these platforms to, either lend out or stake our assets or whatever the case is to, in turn, we earn a certain yield, which is better than, leaving it in the bank where inflation's eating away out of our money. So it's like now they're not only attacking the digital assets that we invest in, the space, but they're attacking our form of earning income off of the digital assets we earn. And that's not even to go with, we've already worked for that money. We've already paid our taxes for that money. So that's our money to do what we want with it. And now they're stopping us having the ability to earn for it, to earn interest on our money. So there's a lot of stuff that's been shady behind what Chair Gensler and the SEC is doing, and there's a lot of uncertainty in regards of regulatory clarity that we need in the space. So this is a big thing, and a lot of people see this, and it does, contribute to this so-called fear that we see in the market case. So we can expect, with the inflation, Jerome Powell and the Fed, and kind of what's going on, we can expect some more, volatility going on within the market. So I wanted to bring that up. And Barry Silbert had a good tweet here. It says, he will be naive to think that the SEC and state regulators are going to fine BlockFi 100 million, but not go after DeFi lending platforms as well. How, I don't know. So true. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to find a way to do it. And this is what I'm talking about. We have to band together as a crypto community and stand up for what's right and fight the good fight and make sure that we aren't cowering down to, the SEC and the regulators for them trying to, over-regulate and over-dominate the space, because it's only going to hinder and stifle the innovation and growth within our market. And for those people out there that think that, their asset or their platform is safe because it's not in the so-called eyes of the SEC or it's not in the headlines of the news media outlets right now, you're sadly mistaken. They're coming after everybody. Chair Gensler has said it. He's coming after the platforms to make sure that they're investor compliant. So they're coming after everything. DeFi, everything crypto, they're going to be coming after. So this Ripple versus SEC case is the start, and it's the going to set precedent, and it's vital that Ripple wins this case. Now, with that being said, we got to continue to, step up, have our, send letters to our representatives, to our state representatives in Congress, and make sure that our voices are heard in regards of our needs and what we want out of, this space and regulation when it comes to our space. Coming over here, this is from Michael. It says, the SEC is proposing a string of secret crypto rules. Pierce is convinced that this is just an excuse for the government to spy on crypto traders and related businesses. So coming over here, says the SEC is working to regulate crypto at all costs. So it says, in email, Pierce explained the proposal includes very expansive language, which together with the chair's apparent interest in regulating all things crypto, let me highlight that, all things crypto, suggests that it could be used to regulate crypto platforms. The proposal could reach more types of trading mechanisms, including potentially DeFi protocols. Don't know how they're going to do it, but I mean, that's kind of scary. It says, even though they are decentralized with no central entity in charge, DeFi projects that reward participants with incentives or digital tokens could enter territory that is subject to SEC regulation. So as you can see, man, the SEC is they're just after everything crypto. Regardless of whatever project you like, however you feel about your platform or digital asset, they're coming after everything. So we need to stand up together and come together as a community and stop this, separation that we have and this divide we have within the community, because they're coming after everybody. There's been a lot of talks about this. Get out of there. There's been a lot of talks about this. This Bitfinex hack, and this New York couple was seized of 3.6 billion in stolen cryptocurrency. And obviously this has been the talk of the town the past couple of days. The crazy thing about it is we covered it in our past video, but now this hack came out from Cointelegraph. Netflix announces new series on Bitfinex hack involving 120,000 Bitcoin. The Netflix documentary will be about a New York-based couple and their link to laundering nearly 120,000 Bitcoin tied to the crime. So it says, quote, Netflix has offered a documentary series about a marriage couple's alleged scheme to launder billions of dollars worth of stolen cryptocurrency in the biggest criminal financial crime case in history. So I'm kind of feeling I'm feeling indifferent about this. So obviously that's a big deal. It being the biggest financial crime in history, there's some weird stuff going on behind it, whatever the case is. But the fact that we're trying to build mainstream awareness of our space and further incentivize adoption for stuff like this to come out, all it does is put a negative light on our space. And in the reality, our space isn't going to be perfect, but it's not necessarily something we need. But obviously, Netflix is a big platform, and a lot of people, even myself, I'm going to be looking forward to watching this to kind of see what they make of it. But I'm kind of feeling indifferent about it. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up to your awareness. Now, we're going to look at some positives within the market. So this is from Bitcoin Magazine. It says, Fidelity Director, Bitcoin price will increase exponentially like Apple stock. That's absolutely huge. That's a huge little statement right there. This is from Blockworks. Bitcoin will be adopted by institutions this year, says billionaire investor Bill Miller. It's already happening now, and I truly agree with that. From Blockworks, Metaverse real estate sales hit 500 million in 2021 and are expected to reach 1 billion in 2022. So I actually got buddies that laugh at, oh, you're buying, these digital assets, and you would buy, this virtual land on the computer, and what is it worth? But it's look at this. Metaverse real estate hits 500 million in 1 year and expected to reach 1 billion this year. Who knows? It can far surpass this. It's happening. Regardless of how you feel about it, the writing's on the wall. The metaverse, crypto, NFTs, crypto gaming, DeFi, layer ones, the crypto space in general, it's happening. It's the future, and people are buying into it, and adoption is happening. Eyes are on this market. Coming over here, this is huge. It says, this is from Blockworks. Taxis don't like Uber. Hotels don't like Airbnb. Cinemas don't like Netflix. Banks don't like Bitcoin or digital assets. Bookstores don't like Amazon. Oil companies don't like Tesla. Innovation is not always liked. Absolutely massive. And I have some good friends of mine and good coworkers I used to work with that, felt totally opposite than how I felt about the crypto space. And they gave me a lot of crap about it. But quite honestly, I saw this back in 2017. I saw where this was going. Yeah, it wasn't going to be perfect. We weren't going to go in a straight line and straight up to, to the moon. There was going to be a lot of rocky points, a lot of uncertainty and fear. But it's I saw that, hey, this is the next thing. This is the next big thing. So this is absolutely massive. And to end on it, just to kind of put, some icing on top of this cupcake here, it says, crypto companies raised $2 billion in the last 2 weeks. Let me restate that. Crypto companies raised $2 billion in the last 2 weeks. So these VCs, these venture capitalists, and all these investors that got, good amount of money, they see the writing on the wall, and they're trying to get their hands and their money in this space so their money can work for them, because they know that they're going to have an exponential return with these crypto companies. There's no secret. Crypto is here to stay. It's offering so much. The crypto space has so much to offer, and it's already happening. We are so early to the party, sitting at $1.96 trillion market cap. Yes, there's a lot of fear and FUD in the market. There's a lot of uncertainty. But if you zoom out in the grand scheme of things, we're only going up. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.